Yeah. I'll tell you what. Ready? We're live. Okie dokie. Welcome everybody. My name is Milan. I see that a few of you are on the chat on YouTube already. So first to introduce myself, I'm French, sorry for the accent, and actually I'm a former Wagon student. I did the bootcamp back in 2018, four years ago already. The web dev bootcamp from October to December 2018, the same you will be doing in the future. And I loved it so much. I loved the experience. I loved the team. I loved how they were changing people's life. So I decided to stay. And now I've been managing some bootcamps in Latin America, and I'm very proud and happy to be managing this upcoming one in Playa del Carmen. And for the ones who don't know anything about Wagon, let me catch up to speed. It's the #1 coding bootcamp worldwide, and we're very famous for our web development bootcamp. Because in 9 weeks, we transform people's life. We give you the skills to become a web developer, a product manager, a designer. There's a whole world waiting for you after the bootcamp. But what you might not know about this unique Playa del Carmen experience is that we're planning something very different. It's going to be the first time we launch a bootcamp in this city. And the way we're thinking about it, it was a dream of mine to launch it in this city. And it was a dream of mine before the pandemic. So now, after you might imagine what happened during the pandemic, it wasn't the best time to do it. But hopefully, during these tough times, Playa del Carmen became even more interesting. It became a hub for tech, freelancers, digital nomads, because during these tough years, Mexico was like one of these countries that were accepting a lot of digital nomads, a lot of travelers. And thanks to that, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Tulum, like all of these triangle cities by the beach with beautiful weather and culture, they all welcomed a lot of inspiring people. And the idea is to make a bootcamp, 9 weeks, 20 students from all around the world, mixed together, and everybody with the dream of becoming an entrepreneur or a developer, to work as a freelancer, to work as a digital nomad, to meet this local community, but also, of course, during the day, to have like 10 hours of coding every single day to change your life and get new skills. And how is it gonna work? The 9 weeks. Also, just a reminder, if you wanna send a question to the chat, I'm looking at it also, so feel free to ask anything, okay? So just to tell you a bit more about the 9 weeks itself. So it's 9 weeks, Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night. And every single day starts the same. Like you wake up, you have your breakfast on the beach, perhaps, who knows, you surf a little bit, you go for a swim. And then at 9 a.m., we're waiting for you to start the class at the school. From 9 till 10:30, it's a live class. You can ask all your questions, raise your hand, clear all your doubts. It's a lot of like, it's the only theory of the day, but it's still a very practical theory. Like it's a lot of the teacher coding in front of you and you asking all your questions about how it works. Then from 10:30 until 5 in the afternoon, it's just challenges, practice. Like every single day, you will be coding at least 6 hours. And that's at the end of the day, it's a language and there's no other way to learn it except to experience it and practice it. So that's something we really believe in at Wagon. And something really cool also that we stole from the tech industry is the pair programming methodology. Basically, every single day we match with a different person from your class. So one day you will be matched with a girl from Spain who wants to be an entrepreneur. The next day you will be matched with a guy from Canada who wants to become a digital nomad. So it's cool because you get to meet everybody in your class and work together for at least a full day together during the bootcamp. But it's also cool because it's an accountability system. Like you cannot be going to the beach for the lunch break and then not coming back. Like that's not the idea. The idea is that your body is waiting for you. The teachers are waiting for you to move forward with the exercises of the day. And on top of this pair programming methodology, we always have at least 2 to 3 teachers who are with you all day long. And for the ones who doubt that you can really become a developer, that you can really learn so fast after only 9 weeks, I would raise the teacher's card because that's really why students go so fast in the learning experience at Wagon. If you try by yourself to learn how to code, you know that every time you have a bug or you're blocked for like 3 hours to 3 days. It really depends on if you find help online. But at Wagon, you're never blocked because you always have a teacher, and the teachers never give you the answer. That's not the goal. They will make sure they will come to you, be like, okay, what didn't you understand? Where are you stuck? And to make sure that the next time you have this bug again, you're independent. Like you can solve it by yourself. You know where to find the code documentation. You get the dynamic. So that's our goal, to make sure that you get independent and you know how to solve any bugs that might appear. So that's the idea during the day. We have 1 hour to have lunch, and usually we like to have lunch all together. There are a lot of places around the school to have lunch. Every type of like Mexican, Chinese, great food. I'm excited for that. And then at the end of the day, because we know that you're a bit tired, once a week, perhaps more, I'm still negotiating it, we will have yoga classes. So it's basically for 1 hour. You come, you chill. It's not acrobatic yoga, okay? It's just to chill because like it's also to stretch because we're like sitting like 8 to 10 hours per day on our chairs coding. So it's a good time to relax. It's a good bonding experience with the team. But you can also take this time to walk around, go to the beach. It's literally like 2 blocks away. Okay, I think I'm back. This, and then from 5 p.m. until the end of the day, you usually I'm back. I guess I'm back. Okay, okay. So at the end of the day, not the end of this live, we have what we call the live code. Live code is an exercise we created specifically for that time of the day because again we know that you guys are tired by the end of the day, and it's basically like a more interactive exercise to do all together with the teacher. So that's it for the kind of structure we have. After 7 p.m., you're really encouraged to go home, rest, have another swim, discover like the restaurants, bars around. But something we will offer, but it will be always facultative if you have the time and if you feel rested enough. We'll offer talks with local inspirations from the local community of Playa del Carmen. We will invite entrepreneurs, CEOs, digital nomads who work already in this industry. They will come to you to explain their day-to-day, their top tips to get into this kind of industry, this kind of lifestyle. And yeah, the idea is that you get inspired and you come back the next day with even more motivation to learn how to code, because God knows we need it. Okay, it's not an easy subject. It's something you have to dedicate yourself. So yeah, I think if you have any question about the schedule, the bootcamp, feel free to add it to the chat. But before that, I just wanted to give you a little tour of our learning platform because I know it's something really valuable and I tend to forget about it. Like I tend to forget that we have such an amazing learning platform that no other bootcamp worldwide has. So I think now you can say, welcome to KIT. So KIT is the name of our learning platform, and basically it starts on day 1 of the bootcamp, and then you will have access to it forever. Like for your whole life, you can always come back to KIT. And the good thing is that you have access to all the classes, all the challenges, exercise, everything. But on top of that, it's always updated. So let's imagine, for example, you do the bootcamp. After the bootcamp, you become a JavaScript developer. And after 2 years, you're tired of it, you want to go back to, you want to do something related to databases, and you want to go back to SQL. Okay, cool. But you don't remember anything about it. Well, it's completely fine. You can come back to the bootcamp, to the SQL days, and update yourself the content. It will not be the same content in your bootcamp because it would have been updated, of course, in 2 years. SQL, the language would have get a lot of different versions, a lot of updates. And so it's a really cool tool to have with you. And actually, fun fact, just a few weeks ago, we had a party with former students, and some of them were telling me that they were still using the UI kit, the user interface kit that Le Wagon offers, and it's basically a library of front-end components. And they were telling me that they were still using it to start the front end of any website they had to build. So I was really proud and happy to know about that. Still, like some of them, like 3-4 years later, so it was like really cool. But on top of that, as you can see here, you have access to all the classes. Let's take, for example, the third day of the bootcamp. You have access to the slides, the video in different languages. I would advise English, but you can also watch it in Spanish or French or even Portuguese if you like to. And something really cool that I remember as a student, I was always referring to is the source code. Like you don't have to go back to the slides or the video to get the code you like to try or use. You only have to come back to the source that is here, and it's all the code from the class written down. So it might seem complicated at first if you don't have any notion of programming, but don't worry, you will get it. Like all of this, you will get it once you're in the bootcamp. So this, and on the side here, you can see all the left column, you can see all the exercises of the day. So here, for example, you can see that on the third day of the bootcamp, you will be learning how to code a blackjack game. And basically, in the instructions, you will find all the rules of blackjack, and you're gonna create a little blackjack game with your computer, and you're gonna be playing with your computer. So that's just, for me, I think it's a good example for you guys to realize that on the third day of the bootcamp, you will already be building a mini game and be able to play with your computer as a blackjack game. So just to show that how fast it goes. Okie dokie. So basically every single day is structured like that. You have mandatory exercises and what we call optional exercises. That's for the ones who already have some background of coding and feel very comfortable with basics. We have some optional exercise planned for you that are really, really hard, really tough to complete. And then at the end of the day, we have what we call the flashcard. So it's basically a set of digital cards, as you can see. And you have like 20 to 25 every single day with key concepts of the class that you have to remember or know about. And every time you see like a key here, it means it's a key concept. Okay, you write your answer, you flip the card. I was wrong, of course, but I will pretend I knew it, and I move forward with a little game. Same thing. We can see what you guys write here, okay? Just for you to know. And you move forward, except if you didn't know, it will appear as red. And the card will come back, okay? So like these are things that are very important to complete during the bootcamp, and we are on your back for you to complete it. So just for you to have an idea of how it works during the bootcamp, you are always on this platform with the teachers and teacher assistants. This, something also to mention, in the middle of the bootcamp, we have what we call pitch night. As you can see here, we have a little option for pitches. And it's basically a time where we ask all our students to present their ID to the rest of the class. So if you have an entrepreneurial project, if you've been dreaming about developing an app for a lot of time, or even if you have an NGO ID or anything, any kind of like web project you like to accomplish, feel free to offer it to the class. And me and the teachers, we have nothing to do with it. You guys vote on what are the best projects according to you. And I believe in a class of 20, you will have 5 projects. So you'll be developing 5 projects by the end of the bootcamp. And yeah, that's the best part according to me, because that's when you actually get to experience what it's like to be a developer and not just doing exercises. So it's really cool. Something else I wanted to show you here is the alumni part of the bootcamp. So what we call by alumni is basically our own LinkedIn. So I know that some people ask me like, oh, I really want to do Wagon, but I'm hesitating between Tokyo, Paris, and Playa del Carmen. Something I just wanted to mention, of course, the experience are different. It's different to go to school in Tokyo, Paris, and Playa del Carmen, of course. But the bootcamp itself, the networking part, everything, it's the same. So like if you're wondering, for example, if you have access to American students who did the bootcamp in Mexico or Paris or Tokyo and are working now in the US, the answer is yes, you do. They are all here. And you can filter by cities, you can filter by program. what kind of skills they put on their profile. It's really cool. Like you can see my profile here, for example. You can see having access to my LinkedIn. You can have all my contact info. So that's really cool because you get to be able to contact anyone from Wagon, any former student. So if you're wondering like about opportunities, anything after the bootcamp, that's where it comes from. And talking about that, I just wanted to brag a little bit about my students and what they became after the bootcamp. This is Taylor. Taylor came to us. She was before the pandemic in 2019, the end of 2019. And she was super lost in her life. She was working for Netflix at that time. So you would think like not that lost, but she was telling us that basically she was like a production assistant, like taping wires to the floor. And she was really wondering like, what am I doing with my life? And she came to do the bootcamp in 2019. And at the beginning, she was really lost. She was like, I don't know if I like that. But then she completely fell in love with programming. And now, as you can see, she's a creative technologist for a really cool company in Los Angeles. Oh, she's not even a junior anymore. That's cool. And actually, during the whole pandemic time, she was traveling all around Latin America, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, and working for them remotely as a junior. So if you're wondering if you can get that kind of job right after the bootcamp, yes, you can. Taylor did it. Steven also did it. He's an American student also. And same thing, he did the bootcamp with us. And actually, after the bootcamp, he went straight to Europe. He got connected with other Le Wagon students in Berlin. And together, they were working on freelance projects to get some experience. And then he got hired by a company and then another one. And now, oh, I don't know about that. And then now he's still working. He went back to the US, but I know he's working remote, even in the US. And yeah, I had no idea he had built his company. That's really cool. So here, another example. And the final example is Camila. Same thing. She did the bootcamp and she became a developer for a very big company in Latin America. It's like the competitor of Hotspot, for the one who know about that, called RD Station. And I love watching her Instagram stories because she's always all around the world, coding, traveling. And yeah, that's an inspiration for all of us. And just a reminder that all of these people were beginners. They were not like, let's see what Kayla was doing before. Okay, like she studied gastronomy. Awesome, that's a great example. It looks like she works for a chocolate company. Yeah, like as you can see, people are coming from different backgrounds, different areas, and all of them come change their lives with Le Wagon and then go on a new career. And if you're curious about that, I would highly advise you on LinkedIn to type like Le Wagon Mexico, Le Wagon anything, and you can have access to anyone around the world. That's actually when I was in your position, like for you, like wondering if I should do Le Wagon or not. That's what I did. I messaged a lot of people on LinkedIn that had a similar profile to mine. And I asked them like, what did you think of Le Wagon? How was your experience? Would you advise it to me? And first, I was very surprised that all of them, without any exception, answered to me. I was like, wow, it sounds like a very cool community. People answer to cold emailing on LinkedIn. And of course, everybody advised it to me. So that's what really helped me. So that's what I would advise you if you're curious about Le Wagon. Don't talk to me, even if I can help you also, but talk to former students who have a similar background than you and see how it was for them. And perhaps you will find out that that's the right thing for you. And if you find out that it's the right thing for you, the next step is to apply. And why would I encourage you to apply right away? It's because as part of our selection process, we have two steps. The first step is a little interview with me, just to check if we can help you. Like we will, like my mantra is that I will never ever accept a student that I don't know for 100% sure that I can help you to achieve your career goals. And that's also why I believe Le Wagon has so many good reviews and positive evaluations online, because we always make sure that we can help the students. Like if you tell me I want to be a doctor in artificial intelligence, I would tell you perhaps it's not the right next step for you, but that will be one of them on the way to this goal. And so yeah, that will be the idea, an interview with me. And then the second step will be a little selection test that takes an hour. It's online and it's for beginners. And actually, we encourage you to Google anything. Like if you don't know the answer, try to Google it, try to find the answer. And this is a kind of mindset that we also encourage inside the bootcamp. If you don't know it, Google it. The answer is usually there. So this doesn't sound like so much time, like 30 minutes interview and 1 hour online test. But then once you're approved, you're ready to go to bootcamp. Before the bootcamp, you have to complete about 40 to 50 hours of preparation work. So that's why the bootcamp is starting in like 2 months. I would advise you to apply now to complete the selection process in July, so that after you have August and September to really focus on the preparation work and be ready for October with us in Playa del Carmen. And no worries, like this preparation work, everything you see in it, you will see it again during the bootcamp. The idea is just to make sure that you get more familiar with the concepts of it, and that when you start the bootcamp, you are not like, oh my god, what is this? No, like you have seen it before in the prep work. It's done all online. It's a different platform also that we send to you. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you have access to all of this information before you make the big life-changing decision of doing Le Wagon. Is there any question in the chat? Let's check it out. Not yet. Okay, feel free to send some. We're waiting for it. And in any matter, also, I wanted to invite you tomorrow. I think it's 6 p.m. Mexico time or 5 p.m. I don't remember. We have the founder of Rails Dev coming for a talk at Le Wagon. So if you're wondering also about the kind of inspiring people we invite in our talk, I would highly advise you to check it out. Like you can find it if you type Le Wagon Mexico, Eventbrite, Le Wagon Mexico, anything, you will find the events related to that. And you can sign up and join us for this cool event where the founder of a very important coding organization is coming to inspire us and tell us more about the community, basically. Okay. No questions. Then I think we'll wrap it up here. Next step, people, is to apply online. If you have any question on the Playa del Carmen page, there's a little form where you can send me all your questions. You can have access to my WhatsApp. I'm always online. I'm always on my phone. You can send me all your questions. You can call me. I'll be here. And yeah, I'll be waiting for your applications, and hopefully we can talk soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mariana, for organizing the event.